Hello learners, this second part comprises paragraphs, verbs and vocabulary building. Learners, writing well-composed academic paragraphs can be very tricky. Paragraph is a distinct section of a piece of writing, usually dealing with a single theme and indicated by a new line, indentation or numbering. Now there are various steps to follow. Step 1. Decide the topic of your paragraph. Before you can begin writing, you need to know what you are writing about. First, look at the writing prompt or assignment topic. As you look at the prompt, note any key terms or repeated paraphrases or phrases because you will want to use those words in your response. Coming to step number 2, develop a topic sentence. Before writing a paragraph, it is important to think first about the topic and then what do you want to say about the topic. Most often, the topic is easy, but the question then turns out what you want to say about the topic. This concept is sometimes called the controlling idea. Strong paragraphs are typically about one main idea or topic, which is often explicitly stated in a topic sentence. Good topic sentences should always contain both. Number 1, a topic. Number 2, controlling idea. Step 3, demonstrate your point. After stating your point sentence or the topic sentence, you need to provide information to prove, illustrate, clarify, or exemplify your point. Step 4. Give your paragraph meaning. After you have given the reader enough information to see and understand the point, you need to explain why this information is relevant, meaningful, or interesting. Step 5. Conclude. After illustrating all your points with relevant information, add a concluding sentence. Concluding sentences link one paragraph to the next and provide another device for helping you ensure your paragraph is unified. Repeating words or phrases from the topic sentence. Using linking verbs that indicate that conclusions are being drawn. Second, they often link the current paragraph to the next paragraph or the following paragraph. They may anticipate the topic sentence of the next paragraph by introducing a word, phrase, or a new concept which will then be picked up in the topic sentence of the next paragraph. Using words or phrases that point ahead. Step 6. Look over and proofread. The last step in good paragraph writing is proofreading and revision. Try reading your paragraph out loud to make sure it makes sense. Learners, let's come to the next section. Let us learn grammar 18.3 of the lesson. You have already learned about verbs. They are doing words. They also indicate time of an action, for example, past, present, or future. Now, read the sentences and underline the verbs. Raman discussed it with him and ultimately convinced him he would help him as well as continue his studies through NIOS. Number 2, yesterday, I called my manager and expressed my desire to be allowed to handle the new machinery. Did you notice, learners, that all action verbs or the words in the sentences are indicating a past action? They are in the second form. Hence, we say they are in the simple past tense. Simple past tense refers to the action which took place in the past. Simple past is sometimes indicated by the past signals such as yesterday, last Sunday, previously, etc. There is one exercise 2 in your book. You have to do it on your own. The exercise is read the sentences carefully and note what is different. Sentence number 1. Why did he give up his studies after schooling? Sentence number 2. He gave up studies because his father wanted him to help him in his family business. Sentence number 3. Didn't you advise him to join NIOS and appear for his examination? Sentence number 4. Yes, I told him about NIOS. He said that he would think over it. Sentence number 1 begins with interrogative word why. So it is a question form. It uses the pattern WH word plus did plus subject plus a question that has been asked. The structure of the sentence is interrogative word plus did plus subject plus verb in its root form. For example, why plus did plus he plus give up. Sentence number 3 also has a question beginning with didn't. That is negative plus subject plus verb in its root form plus object. These questions are also in the simple past tense. Sentences 2 and 4 are replies in the form of statements in the past tense, and their structures are subject plus verb plus object. It must be noted that statements, positive in simple past, take the second form of the verb, but interrogative sentences begin with interrogative words. For example, when, why, where, followed by did, did not, and subject, and the verb is used in its root form. Learners, whether you are trying to strengthen and broaden your vocabulary for your growth, the key is a commitment to regularly learning new words. Number 1, the step is read, read, and read. The more you read, especially novels and literary works, but also magazines and newspapers, the more words you will be exposed to. As you read and uncover new words, use a combination of attempting to derive meanings from the context of the sentence as well as from looking up the definition in a dictionary. Number 2, keep a dictionary and thesaurus handy. Use whatever versions you prefer in print, software, or online. When you uncover a new word, look it up in the dictionary to get both its pronunciation and its meanings. Next, go to the thesaurus and find some similar words and their opposites, synonyms and antonyms respectively, and learn the nuances among the words. Number 3, use a journal. It's a good idea to keep a running list of the new words you discover so that you can refer back to the list and slowly build them into your everyday vocabulary. Number 4, learn a word a day. Using a word a day calendar or website or developing your own list of words to learn is a great technique many people use to learn new words. 5, go back to your roots. One of the most important and powerful tools for learning new words and for deciphering the meaning of other new words is studying Latin and Greek roots. Number 6, play some games, word games that challenge you and help you discover new meanings and new words. Engage in conversations. Simply talking with other people can help you discover new words. Some final thoughts on improving and expanding your vocabulary. Learners, you hold the key to a better vocabulary. By using the tips outlined in this section, you should be well on your way to discovering and learning new words to expand your vocabulary and strengthen your use of the English language. There are some important words and phrases used in this current lesson. Fainter and fainter, sound becoming low gradually. To pull off means remove. To stutter means not to speak normally due to a speech problem. Wretched means miserable, very sad. Brink of suicide means extremely dejected and frustrated. Nice talk means polite and informal talk or interaction. Stretch out means to keep legs straight on the sofa or bed. Gravely means seriously. To stuff means to push something into a small space in a careless way. Stared means look angrily. To fetch down means to bring down. Screamed means shout. Shouted, cried fiercely due to fear. Learners, in continuation to your first video lesson, which is actually a part of this video lesson, the first part, there are certain important points to ponder. Some parents are not demonstrative by nature, so they do not make any gestures to let their child know that they care for them and love them. Sometimes parents are too busy and have a lot of pressure of office work, which may make them irritable and intolerant. Then they transfer their anger to their members of the house. Over-disciplining and over-strictness impacts a child's mind and makes him underconfident. Sometimes a fear may show itself in form of disabilities. For instance, stammering could be a result of fear. There is no medical cure for such disabilities which are born out of fear. Love is the only healing touch that works in such cases. All parents care for their child, as is evident from the above story or from this present story. Small children crave for love. Parental love gives them assurance and security. Families must spend family time together. A bonded family is an understanding family. Members can communicate freely. Adults must also try to understand a child's psychology. Physical punishment is not a solution to correct mistakes. We should not underestimate a child's understanding. One caring touch of the father here made Kezia realize that her father loved her. It is wrong to compare and expect our parents to be like some others. Learners, I hope you got some understanding of the lesson. I also request you to read the lesson in the book before writing the exam. I wish you all the best. Thank you.